All right. Oh, and recording. Okay, we're live. Welcome to Pits in the Flood for the Win. This is Adam, and I'm joined by my buddy Jon, nerding out with cards. And first time I get a chance to meet Rob, Bucks and Six, which it only took me about 12 seconds to realize what that was. When you say it real fast, I thought it was because Jon would say, "Oh yeah, Bucks and Six," and I'm like, "What the hell is he talking about?" Then I looked at the spelling and went, "Oh my god, okay."
Yeah, Bucks and Six.
I'm a little slow sometimes.
Yeah, I first hopped onto YouTube right when the Bucks were winning their championship in 6 games. So I used that moniker, and it just has stuck ever since. So
Hey, no, it works, buddy. It's well. Look, I did this with Jon, and I don't need to run him through it again. But I always like when I have somebody on. I've only been doing this a couple of times myself, but I want to know a little bit about you, more than just what you collect and that kind of stuff. But married, kids, kind of where you're at. I know you love dogs because I read about your dog that ruined Christmas for you,
yeah,
but then became a great happy ending.
it did. It did. Yeah. So yeah, I'm married. I got a son. Full disclosure, my son is right there next to me.
There you go.
We share a space here. I've got my card space in this room, and he's got his 3D printer, and he just got some 3D printing upgrades for his 3D printer. So he's off to the side. If you hear any strange sounds, that's probably him over there.
It's okay. Just tell him to make me a Dodger helmet, and I'll be happy.
A Dodger helmet. He could probably do that.
Yeah, well, I've seen what the 3D printers can do, man. I'm pretty amazed.
Yeah, he prints most of my cards I have on display. He's printed the card stands for card displays, and they work really nice for the cards that are in just like top loaders. That he's got to design a little bit better one for the heavier slabs, but yeah, he has a good time, and it's kind of a family affair. My wife is involved with my collecting. She's not always looking for stuff for me, but frequently she'll be looking at the eBay and searching out cards. And my son, obviously, he's done some of the display things for me and helping me out that way. So yeah.
Well, I would tell you got a great hat on because I've been a diehard Canucks fan. My favorite player is Tony Tanti, and in fact, I think I have every card in his run of any card he's ever done, even his last 3 years in Germany. I picked up all three of those. So it didn't take a lot of money. We're talking Tony Tante here, and that's the point of my show is I'm all about the Hall of the Very Good.
Yeah, I like that.
But I thought we'd talk about all kinds of different things. I kind of told Rob a little bit, and more of like, do you guys ever sit down and think about like something that you would like to get this year, like a card or finish a set, or is there something you're wanting to complete? Jon, we'll start with you. I know you kind of just go with the flow, but I mean, I know that we all have things that are in the back of our mind that if I see it, I want to get it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think this year I thought about that more so than previous years, just because, doing the whole YouTube thing, right?
Right.
And so there's some things that are just cool to do, like a recap video, a goals video being some of those. And so I thought about it, but I left mine a little bit more conservative, just because of what is my employment status going to look like? I mean, money matters, right? So
yeah, no, I hear you.
But I would say, generally speaking, though, like December 15th to January 15th, I mean, it's just numbers on a calendar. I don't put a lot of emphasis on like it's some big event kind of thing. You just kind of keep going.
Right. I do the same thing. I love the people that do those. I mean, I that's why when I showed, near the end of the year, I showed just 50 cards that I liked that had really no value to them. I just wanted to show some cards because I didn't want to get into, I don't even know what any value of my cards are. I have Namath cards sitting up here. I've got Maynard. I've got Complete Veda Pinson Run. I've got some cards that are worth some money, but I don't know. I don't care. I just enjoy having them. I just look at, I don't have like goals as far as specific cards, but there's things that I'm wanting to do and wanting to do more of. So it's more of a matter of that. I don't like have a grail card or anything like that. What about you, Rob?
I mean, I've already got mine. So
yeah,
everything, honestly, like everything I collect moving forward is all like bonus.
Yes.
Like I have the definitive, these are the ones I want cards. and then everything is just piled on top of that. So
I'd like to say that I had the same thing, but I don't. I've got cards I still want, but the thing for me is I was out of the hobby for so long. I was out for 25, maybe even longer, that 25 years. And there's so much that happened during that stretch of time. That's actually one of my goals. I saw a lot of people doing these year-end, upcoming year goal videos also. And I was thinking, man, these guys really have things figured out. They have a direction, and I really don't. So actually, one of my goals, I just kind of want to learn what's out there from that dark period in my collecting, because there is so much cool stuff. I learned so much from guys like Shane and Brent. I talk about them all the time on my channel, but it's just so true that Brent was so into the hobby during the time that I wasn't, that I just have so much to learn, and there's so much cool stuff to pick up. So that's one of my goals, is just to learn what there is, because I don't know what's there.
Yeah, John and I talked about that on Saturday, on how those videos actually inspire us, because, I didn't know anything about, Red Heart cards until I started watching a lot more of this stuff. And I thought, I'm not going to be able to go out and get the Stan Musial, but I could get the D Fondy and I'd be just as happy. I mean, it's a good second baseman. I just would love to have one of those cards. So you learn a lot from that. For me, I've really gotten into the junk wax stuff, because at that time I was actually running a card store, and then I got out of it and then sold all my stuff, got back into it, sold all my stuff again, and I'm back into it for the third time this last year. I had kept a few things that I wanted, but so I enjoy like getting the complete run of Randy Johnson rookie cards, or getting the complete run of Greg Maddux rookie cards. It's not a lot of money. It's fun, it's enjoyable, but it's getting the stuff that I remember that I enjoyed collecting at the time.
Right.
And then I like doing, my favorite thing is collecting by decade by war. So I'm working on the 50 to 59 Kansas City Athletics, and I've got one card. And when it comes, I'll do a show on that. But that way I get to collect, mostly cards that don't cost a lot of money, but there is a Maris. So I got to collect the 59 Maris, and there is, a Ferris Fane that's kind of expensive. So you get a few expensive cards, but then you get a lot of little ones, but you can learn about, I'm a historian to some extent. I mean, I don't know everything, but I love the history of all sports. I had a sports talk show for 10 years, and you better know something, or you're going to get exposed very quickly. So I enjoy that part of it, but I don't have like a specific card I want to get.
Yeah, I mean, the more you learn, the more you find out, and
the more I
find out the amount that you don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's why it's fascinating when you watch Mike the Collector. He's been on this thing for 18 years, and you see his collection. You learn about stuff you didn't even know existed. Like I did not know, and you're watching Mangini, and he goes all the way back to the early 1900s, and all these sets that I never even knew even existed at all. And here he's whipping out cards of all of them. And it's fascinating to me. I mean, you learn from somebody, you learn from these guys. They're all historians in their own way.
Right. Yeah. I'm not even talking that deep back. I just don't even know stuff that is fairly recent. Like when I re-entered the hobby, I learned so much, like, and I think you mentioned it, Adam, in one of your videos, that do you collect Tops Now cards?
Yeah, I collect a lot of the Tops Now.
Yeah, I like that too, because it really kind of documents the season as big events happen, and that's kind of like, that's my MO. I like to tell stories about cards, and every single Tops Now card tells a story about some big event.
I collect the hockey Tops Now too.
Oh, nice.
I've got these are the stickers, because Upper Deck has exclusive rights. Sure. And they capture all the events of hockey during the year. So I pick up all the Tops Now ones from hockey. I probably got about 1,000 sitting right here. I've been doing that for the last couple of years, but for me, that's what I like about it. I've got I'm a big Dodger fan. So I've got every Shohei Ohtani card for the last 2 years in Tops Now. It's over 100, plus both of the World Series 15 card sets, all graded 10s. That stuff I have, that's just fun for me to do, but I probably have way too many things I like to collect. So it's kind of like, I'm working on a 62 football set, and I'm working on, a 64, Giants set, the big cards, and then 64 Tops. And those are I don't plan on trying to complete those in 3 months, right? It's going to take time.
Well, you two being kind of my nemesis for baseball. You're a Dodger fan, and then John there, he's a Cardinal fan. I'm here in Wisconsin, way over here, and
I know.
I did get one of my cards that I really
I saw that on your show.
Yeah, this is that Topps Now card of Brandon Woodruff hitting that home run off of Clayton Kershaw. Of course, the Dodgers got the last laugh in the series, but this has been on my bucket list for quite a while. So and it was just at a price point I wasn't willing to pay for it, but I kept it on my bucket list, and lo and behold, this Christmas, my family was asking, "What do you want?" So I just sent them my bucket list, and lo and behold, I got it. So
by the way, too, your Slab City flip is ridiculous. That is beautiful. I love the whole how you do your Slab City and all your different places that you put your cards, the 4 levels. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I really do.
Yes.
That's kind of how I collect. I'm kind of helter-skelter. I don't really have it organized very well within those layers, but if I am looking through my Slab City, I know I'm going to find cards I really like.
Yeah, there you go. What do you got for us, John?
The only Topps Now card I have is
that's a beauty.
Yachty Ueno, start 325.
Is that their last game or the record?
The record.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm
and
a
of
big Adam Wainwright fan. I just thought the guy was underrated. I don't think he has enough, even though he has 200 wins, to make the Hall of Fame just because he's got a high ERA. But
it don't matter.
He's going to be real.
He's going to be in our Hall of Fame. So
he'll definitely be there. But it'll be interesting to see, because this is a discussion I've had with people, other kinds of people, is what's going to be the new standard for pitching. We're going to have no more 300 game winners. We're probably not going to have any 200 game winners, because pitchers are only going 6 and 7 innings, if that.
Right.
And guys aren't accumulating 20 wins anymore. I mean, 20 win seasons are pretty much nil and gone. Think about the record right now. The last person with the highest number of wins. Can you name him?
No.
It would be Bob Welch. He had 27.
Oh,
he was 27-5 with the A's. Before that, it was Denny McClain with his 31. We're never going to see that again. So if the standards are brought down, I think Adam Wainwright will get in. And I think, because if they're talking about Jacob deGrom getting in, and right now he's at 97 wins. I mean, I know he's dominant when he pitches, but 97 wins for a starter doesn't sound Hall of Fame worthy to me. And so what are they going to do? What are the standards? They're talking, should Felix Hernandez get in? It's like he's got 157 wins. Like he had a good run, but it was a short run. It wasn't like he pitched 15 great years.
He was on bad teams, though.
Yeah.
I'm curious how that's going to work out.
In order to even qualify for a win now, you have to pitch 5 innings. Pitchers don't even go 5 innings now.
No, a lot of them don't.
Well, and
the
dynamic changes too when there's a opener, right? We know of closers, right? They do the openers. I mean, yeah, Jacob deGrom's awesome. The 6 innings that he pitches, and then he lets the bullpen blow it and gets a massive contract. See, these are the debates on, like, this is why I just the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame is just kind of like a whatever thing for me, man. It's just it's these debates, right? Because if somebody gets in, it's going to be they shouldn't be in, or this person should be in, and it's like
they know the problem is, John, is they never set up pretty strict credentials, and they allow writers, which I understand they should have some vote, but they shouldn't be the whole vote, because if writers have a grudge, you're not getting in. I mean, look, if you just want to just take a quick example, Ivan Rodriguez and David Ortiz are in the Hall of Fame. They're in the same Mitchell report that Sheffield and those other guys were in. Why are those guys in? Because they're nice guys. And why are the other guys not in? Because, well, they were pain in the butts or whatever. There's a lot of that goes on too, that they've got to get rid of.
I get it.
Yep.
They got to either look at the criteria and say, okay, this way we're going to do it, or not do it.
Yeah, defining a Hall of Famer is hard to do, but it's kind of like pornography. You know it when you see it, right?
Yeah.
That's a great analogy.
I'm not going to let my mind go any further, Rob. You just about killed me there on that one. That's great. But no, you're exactly right. And that's the thing. But we'll digress from that. So one of the things I wanted to ask both of you is, John did it a couple days ago to me, but I'd like him to show it again, is show me your favorite, if you have them kind of handy, your favorite hockey card. It doesn't have to be expensive or whatever.
John, my favorite?
Yeah, you showed that one.
I didn't bust that out last time. I should show my maroon cards.
That's the one. That's the one I want you to show again, just because of what it meant to you.
Okay. Yeah, because my favorite cards is Al McInnes.
Okay, we'll show that one. I'd love to see Al McInnes.
I have to get it out, but
okay.
Like,
because I know you're both hockey fans, so I wanted to get,
Yeah, I would say like these two maroon cards.
Oh yeah,
are my favorite.
You got to tell Rob that story.
So like this one's just it's a game dated moments from when he scored the double overtime goal in Game 7 of the second round to push the Blues onto the conference finals.
Sure.
The only year we won a cup.
I remember it.
Then what?
I said I remember that.
Oh man, it was amazing. I can't honestly, like, the Blues not winning a cup after that year. Like, I'm fine with it. Like, I can die happy the Blues won a cup. The hockey playoffs are so long and stressful. It's just like, I don't know how much more of that I can take. But then, Patrick Maroon went on to the Tampa Bay Lightning because the Blues should have done what other teams have done by circumventing the cap, but they didn't. And so he went to Tampa. Anyway, he went there to win 2 more cups. And so this is from the 3rd cup. And so with his day with the cup, each year he won the cup. He did his day with it in St. Louis, and this was at his high school in South County, St. Louis, a town called Oakville. Honestly, like, if you drive through town, you don't know when you're in Oakville, Melville, or anything like that. It's St. Louis. But this is a high school that he went to, and it's also the high school my wife went to. And
cool.
So they went to high school together, different years, but she was in the same grade as one of Pat's brothers. And they're Facebook friends and all that stuff too. And so I thought that was going to give me a hookup, and it never did.
All right, Rob, show me yours.
Well, I mean, to pick a favorite
or you don't have to be a favorite. Just pick a card.
I've got some. This one. This is a Yari Curry rookie card. If I can get it into frame,
right there.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, and this is a card. There's a little bit of a story behind it because I acquired this card in a unique way. Are you familiar with Card Wolf and his channel?
Yes.
Yeah, so Card Wolf does this dorking with dice on Fridays. And on this is like 2 years ago, for an entire hockey season, he had a pack of, I think this is 1980, is it? Or 81?
That's 81.
This is 81. He had that pack in the box for a whole hockey season, and he never rolled the number. So at the end of that hockey season, he raffled it off, and I ended up winning it. I got my card. My name was drawn in the roll off, and so that pack was sent to my brother at the time, who had a channel. I didn't have a channel at the time, but my brother did. So Card Wolf sent the pack to my brother so he could open it on his channel. And lo and behold, the Yari Curry rookie card was
how cool is that? That's one of the best hits you can get.
To me. So because of that whole history of it, this Yari Curry card it's right up there for me in my hockey fandom, hockey cards. And of course, I just recently showed this one. I don't know if you saw, this was the card that Shane sent me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Are you kidding me?
They honored Willie O'Ree at the All-Star game down in Tampa, and yeah, that's a pretty special card, and I got that in Slab City too. So
nice.
Yeah. So those 2 cards are right up there for me anyway. So what about you?
John, you got your McGinnis?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's a beauty.
And it's actually kind of funny with hockey cards because this was going into his 5th season, and it's his rookie card. When I did that O-Pee-Chee video, the Major League Baseball cards and stickers that O-Pee-Chee was doing,
yep,
like, totally consumed their manufacturing. They like abandoned hockey for a few years.
Yes.
Which was pretty wild to learn about. And then the most well-known blue, Brett Hull.
Brett Hull, nice. That's a beautiful Peachy rookie, dude. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's in true collector grade. You know that because it's not graded.
There you go. That's true collector grade. I like it.
There you go.
Hey, one of the questions I always think is interesting because, people show cards, people talk about cards. I don't know about you guys, but I actually look at my cards almost daily. Like if I'm sitting in the room, I'm always looking at something or rearranging something. I love just playing with cards. Do you guys love playing with cards? Do you spend a lot of time just kind of looking through a binder or, just sitting down watching a show and just flipping through?
Yeah, I mean, I do it most nights. I come down here watching YouTube videos, and it helps now that I got the vast majority of my collection is bindered, so it's easy to pull it out and flip through it. So,
what about you?
Yeah, for me, I'm a kind of a display guy, and I'm very blessed because my family tolerates it, and I've got a lot of displays everywhere. I mean, in my card room here, you can see a little bit behind me, and I've showed some of those, but I have cards just everywhere, and I'm constantly rotating cards out of those displays, so I don't always look at the same ones all the time. And John gave me an idea a while back, and I haven't followed up on that. This Binder Boulevard business.
Oh yeah,
I have Penny Lane and I have Top Loader Land Touchdown. He suggested I name my binders Binder Boulevard. So
I like it,
but I'm not as much into binders. I do have binders that I have some complete sets from the Junk Wax. When I was a kid, I've pretty much every set from 82 all the way through 87 or 88 in binders. So every once in a while, I'll look through those, but most of my cards, I've got them in displays or I've got them in boxes, and I'll just sit down with the box in my lap and I'll pull through them and look through them. And sometimes I just love to just pull out my Penny Lane cards and just kind of go down memory lane, because there's just every card has something in it that brings me back to a different place and a different time.
Yeah, I have. You can't see it from here, but I've got these shelves that I found on Amazon that hold 5 cards, and I probably got 20 of them up right here. I've got boxes like this, these 400 count boxes, and then I do, because of John. It made me go back to doing some binder work because I like being able to do it. I'm almost got it completed, but I've been working on it for a couple of years. Is every Japanese player and every South Korean player that's come over from both of those leagues and played it and gotten a card, I've got at least 2 of their cards. So, and in chronological order of when they came to the United States and played.
Nice.
So the first one was Murakami back in 65, and then next was Nomo. That's how long of a gap it was. But everyone in order, just something I wanted to do. Not a lot of money, and many of them have very obscure cards. A couple of cards I've had to get from Korea, because it's a Korean card. They didn't even make it, but they did play in the major leagues. They just didn't get a card that year because they might only been in a game or two. Sure. So I love taking that binder out and looking at it. I got a binder that I started about a year ago of anybody that robbed a home run. Like if I find it in a set, I pull that card out and put it in it. Topps Now has a lot of them.
I was just gonna say that Topps Now is great for that.
Yeah, so I started something like that, and then I have some sets. I have some old. I like early mid to late 70s basketball, and I put a number of those sets together because they're only 132 cards. So yeah, I do a little bit of everything. I think we all do, but I'm just glad to hear that. I think most people do that, but you don't hear a lot of people talk about playing with their cards. They just talk about either displaying them or, what they're going after. But do you sit down and really look at them? And I figure most people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Rob's done that in his videos where he just starts pulling out cards. Shane does the same thing with the cheese box, and
yes,
that's why I was conscious of it in a few of my videos to turn the camera down to show flipping through or putting cards in. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying.
I think it's great. I just think it's I think it's a fun thing to do because I just love, I collect all kinds of things. I collect posters, that were out of the Topps baseballs and football from 1970. I collect I love oversized cards. I got this in today. I got a bunch of Griffies. All these are like 5x7s or 3x5s. This is a big one. These are 5x7s. I bought a lot. I love oversized cards. I don't know why. I just do. I never get any graded.
That's the thing. Like there's so many page types now.
Yes.
That there's like no limits on what you can put in a binder. It's
no, I just
amazing.
got the 4-page slots because I'm putting together the run of the regular Diamond Kings, but they also did the 5x7 Diamond Kings. So I'm now working on that because I've got most of Diamond Kings done that were Perez Steel. I didn't do anything after Perez Steel.
Yeah.
I like the oversized cards just because I can see them without having to put on getting older now. I never used to have to put on glasses to enjoy my cards, but
yeah, I got to put on glasses all the time. I wouldn't be able to see you guys. So unfortunately, that's ages let me know that it's there and alive. And so another question I wanted to ask you guys, if you guys could have, it's not something you even have to think about going after, but if you could have one card that you don't have in your collection, what would that be? Doesn't have to be expensive. It could be expensive, but if you could just pick, like, there's one card you've always had in your mind, like, if I ever had the opportunity to get it, I would get it. What would it be?
Well, go ahead. You go ahead, John. I mean, mine's a no-brainer for me. So.
What's that? So I actually got a little bit deep. Like, I don't track the card.
Okay.
But what I could tell you is a year ago, I was finding them for a certain price, and today there's a gap there. It got more and more expensive.
Oh, okay.
But the 1938 Bob Feller Goudy Big Head with scribbles.
Oh, nice. Now I've never heard anybody say that one. That's great. So why the Bob Feller?
So he's the only chief petty officer in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame.
Oh, now that is awesome. I had no idea.
Yeah, it was quite early on my channel. I did a video on like why I collect Bob Feller and like what cards I have currently. But yeah, he enlisted. It was like literally like the day after Pearl Harbor. There's few players kind of get the credit for being the first to join up after Pearl Harbor. But anyway, it was like a day or two after Pearl Harbor. He was back home in Iowa and enlisted. And advancements, promotions within the military was very different time. You know what I mean? Than like what we do these days. But he was assigned to the USS Alabama, and he was a gunner's mate on there. And so a lot of times you'll see captions saying that he was a gun captain, which makes him sound more special. But captain's an officer rank. But anyway, he was the rank of chief petty officer during the war, and that's the pay grade that I reached in my career. My dad retired as a chief petty officer. My uncle retired as a master chief petty officer. Both of them in the Navy. So it is one of those like cool like trivia things. Like when I found that out, I was like, that's pretty sweet.
I got a chance to meet him, and he signed a ball and an 8x10. He came through our little town here in Eugene, out in Oregon, and was, he went around on his own and would just stop at shops and say, "Can I set up for an hour and I'll sign," and just let people know. He'd give them a couple of days notice. And I went there and there was no one there at the time because it just opened. And I spent about 10 minutes with him. He couldn't have been nicer. It was great.
Yeah, he was a prolific signer.
Yeah.
And so it's really easy to find his autographs. By the time I found all this out, he had already passed.
Yeah.
So like I never got to meet him or anything. But
if you read about him, he really had a tough thing dealing with his wife, who was on prescription drugs and was having so many problems. He ended up having to take care of her for a long time, and I think that wore him out. It wore him down because it was a lot to do. And he talks about it very openly in his book. And I've read many different articles on him, and he loved her to death. He'd do anything for her, but she just had an addiction that that was hard to beat, and it caused a lot of issues.
Yeah, but it's really cool. I mean, I've read a couple books on him. I found there's a USS Alabama War Diaries book, and there's some like really cool pictures that include him. Like they played baseball and stuff when they pulled into port somewhere. So like there's a picture of him batting in Hawaii.
Oh wow.
There's pictures of like their line crossing when they crossed the equator, which is something that I have also done. You can see everywhere they went during the war, which is insane. But they went through the Panama Canal, they crossed the equator. Like these are all things that like I've been there. I've been to those same places. I've done those same things.
Wow.
So
there is. I could easily see how that would be your card.
Yeah, sure. And like, why is it above the Leaf Musial? because I already have Musial's rookie card. I don't need a second-year card over
Right.
the Feller rookie card.
All right.
What about you, Rob?
Is really well. I was just gonna to wrap up John's there. You know what's really cool about collecting Feller is just his iconic leg kick wind up. There's so many cool cards of him.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Every one is just stunning to look at because of just the way the photography on his cards are done. They really look great. So.
Yeah, there's a Gaudy wide pen from 38 that's significantly cheaper. That's that could be an alternative card. But yeah, that what you're talking about there with the imagery, that's why the 1956 Topps was the first card I bought of his, because it's got that leg kick on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what people don't realize, people might realize, but he was part of one of maybe the greatest pitching staffs of all time. Because if you think, it was him, Early Wynn, Mike Garcia, and Bob Lemon. And two of those guys are in the Hall of Fame, and Mike Garcia is not that far behind, or three of those guys are in the Hall of Fame. And Mike Garcia is probably not far behind of being in the Hall of Fame. But what a pitching staff. No wonder they won 116 games or whatever they won that year.
Yeah.
That they ended up losing at 54 because Mays decided to do the most ridiculous catch of anybody. And Vic Wertz is still talking to himself, even in his grave. For me, it would be the 1965 Topps Joe Namath. If I could have one card, that'd be the card I'd want. And even I was telling John, even in a 1 or a 2, it's around $2,000. It's up there, but that would be the card if I could ever own. I would love to hold that one time, but you never know,
Yeah. Well, for me, it's the Hank Aaron rookie card. That would be number one for me. He's my guy. I got one of this. This is not quite a rookie card, but it's a nice one. It's from the, I can't even remember the name of it. It's A View to a Thrill. So it's got a little piece of a seat from the county stadium, Milwaukee County Stadium. That's the relic down there. It's a little chunk of wood in there. So it's not only a Hank Aaron card, but it's also got a chunk of the stadium that I saw most games.
Oh, how cool is that?
So this card if it's not my favorite, it's amongst my favorite cards in my collection. And so that Hank Aaron rookie card for me would be number one, because he's Milwaukee. He had he won a championship here. And also he actually started his professional career in my hometown. So his first professional game was in a park called Carson Park in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And that's where he got his first professional foot in the door. And then he was there for just a cup of coffee, and he got called up to the bigs pretty quick after that. But there's a statue outside of that stadium and an honor to him. And every time I go there, quite often, there's a Northwoods League team that plays at that stadium now called the Eau Claire Express. And so I go there every so often to watch them play and look at that statue. But Hank Aaron is just one of my mom's favorite players when she was a little girl, and so there's a lot of connection there to my hometown. And so that Hank Aaron rookie card is number one on my list. And again I had a chance to grab that one time at a card show. I have one of the cards that my aunt gave me in the gift. I don't know if you saw the video I talked about where she gave me these cards in 1961. And one of the cards she gave me was a Mickey Mantle, and I had that graded, and it came back as a 7. So that's a really nice, has some value. And I almost traded that 1961 Mickey Mantle 7 for a Hank Aaron rookie card that was just authentic. But in the end, I didn't pull the trigger on the trade. But now I'm kind of thinking maybe I could have, But
it wasn't meant to be,
Yeah, look, we all had regrets. One I'll just tell you about, just because it was, I ran a card shop for a while, and it was in the mid 80s. And at that time, 86 basketball was out, and no one wanted it. You couldn't give that stuff away. No one cared about it. I'm not kidding. I had in my hand at one time, just that I had personally, 50 Michael Jordans, probably more. sold them all for between $5 and $7, and people would complain then and let them all go. Like never, I didn't even keep one on accident. Like, and I think about that and go, oh my gosh, we all got stories like that. But that one just, I sometimes get woken up in a cold sweat. Like, what was I thinking? But, so the next question I got for you guys is, we all think about it a little bit because we got these channels. I'm the newest. I've only been on for a couple of months, but anything that you want to do different or add or do something that you want to do for this year on your channel? Like it could be anything from more collaborations to, or just, I like the way it's going. I'm sticking with what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's, I like the flow that I'm in now.
Yeah. Please crack please crack more of those open because that was hilarious. I was in tears watching that plastic file all over the place and you talking about, I'm like, John, who rubbed you wrong, dude?
Nobody.
Yeah,
no, these cards are
funny.
Man, look at that. So much better now. Tell you what, like I can actually see the defects and now so much better. But anyway.
Yeah, I've cracked a lot of stuff myself and realizing, okay, why was I thinking or I just saw people that were selling stuff way too cheap and I just got it and wanted the card. So what about you?
No, but I like the flow.
Yeah.
I wanted to have fun with it. So like that whole like intro thing was something I wanted to do. And that came together, I think, pretty nice. But predominantly it's going to be things like this. Because I like the dialogue, right? So it's like right now I can say, hey, Rob, I know you collect the Brewers. What about the Milwaukee Braves? Do you collect those too? Because, Milwaukee. Yeah, because like I was stationed with a Brewers fan, asked him that same question. He's like, no, I don't care about that time. Those assholes won a World Series and we haven't. You know what I mean? Like, but there's different thought processes, right? And still be able to ask those questions, I think is really fun because you can only go so far with the comments.
Yes.
And within the comments, it's, commas matter, voice inflection is not there. There's no body language, so there's barriers to communication with just commenting or texting or what have you. So I think this is really neat. And so getting to do more of this, I think really cool. But
think about it. We get to have friends all over the country. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah.
But I would say like once I got past like the first 3 or 4 months, I think I got comfortable in my own skin, so to speak. And so the analytics of your channel doesn't matter as much, or at least it doesn't for me, And so now there's just like that flow. But then doing things like regular, like the Ozzie Smith weekend thing, that's really helped keep me balanced, I guess.
Right.
And then also delaying my pickups till the end of the month or something like that instead of doing them as they come in, I think is helping with the pace.
Yeah. What about you, Rob?
Yeah, well, when I first started, just be honest, I was on the fence about starting a channel for a long time. I was friends with Shane for maybe 2 years before I actually started the channel. He kept on encouraging me, and I was always hesitant because I didn't know if I had ideas for episodes like he does. I mean, he's done thousands of episodes, and he keeps on coming up with new, fresh ideas. I just didn't know if I had it in me until he just gave me the nudge, and I took the leap. And lo and behold, there goes my dog. Lo and behold, once I started, ideas just started naturally flowing. And some of my episodes are clunky, and that's okay. I think we all kind of go through that, and I just let it kind of breathe. And I would like to put together a regular thing like John. I really enjoyed, your Ozzie Smith weekend, and I'm thinking about maybe doing something on the regular, but as it is, I don't want to be kind of tied to that either. I kind of want, if there's something that comes up, I'll just do it. I would like to do more of those episodes where I dig into my penny lane, in my top loader land, and my one touchdown, and my slab city, just to randomly look at cards just to see what's in the collection. I got a lot of pretty positive feedback from that, and not that it's about the feedback, because it's more about what I want to do too, and I'd like to do it. But if people are enjoying it, then I get better comments, and there's more interaction that way too. So, but going forward, I think I would like to come up with at least some plan, for a series that I continuously do. So,
yeah, I mean, I started out trying to just do what I'm doing and evolving more. I like talking about the history and talking about cards that no one else talks about, and I'll probably keep doing that, and then continue doing more collaborations, because I just think that's just a great way to talk to people and I agree with you, John, that whole seeing somebody, and I'm not a great typer, and I don't want to spend time texting all day long. I don't mind texting, but you want to get to know somebody, and face to face is always a way to do it. So just keep doing what you're doing. I don't worry about, like, I'm probably like you guys too. I don't worry about views. I don't worry about any of that stuff. I'm not doing it to make it in anything. I just am doing what I feel I want to do. And the feedback so far has been pretty positive. There's been a couple episodes didn't do as well, but I enjoyed it. So that's all that matters.
That is all that matters. If you have fun doing it, then it was a good episode.
Yep. What's been, I think I know the answer to this question, but what's been the best thing about having a channel?
John?
That's kind of like a loaded question. I would say, like, it was not on my priority list to make friends when I started my channel, right? Like I said, you serve this country for 20 years. You feel like you owe it to to the people and citizens of this country to educate them. And there was definitively not enough Cardinals on the YouTube. It was my duty to start this channel. Okay.
All right.
But John, that's about as much BS as I've ever seen, dude. That was great. Because I was enthralled for a minute. I'm like, oh, dude, this guy's getting serious. Then you throw that one at us. Okay.
No, but I didn't really go into it with a whole lot of expectations, right? So a lot of people, they do have expectation and that makes sense. But once that began to occur more often, like talking to you guys and everything, I definitely see more now, like, why people prioritize that. So that's been really enjoyable, like at first, just having the comments and whatnot, that was really cool. Like, there was a rush to that, and you see people are watching your stuff and what have you. And like I said, that's really cool. But like, joking aside, like, just talking about my Ozzie Smith cards, nobody I know in real life cares,
Right.
And so
right.
it's like giving my cards a new life, by being able to do this. And then the positive consequences or side effects was this video right here. So I would say it's just been a lot of fun, a lot unintended fun, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What about you, Rod?
I would echo a lot of that. I mean, and surprisingly, as I got into this, who would have thought I'd be making friends with a Cardinal fan? I mean, my goodness, that is really straight barrel here. And some of my other buddies that I've met are Cubs fans, and because Jeff out there in California, the Chicago guy, and he and I have kind of connected through John, and now I find out, Adam, you're a Canucks fan. There aren't any Canucks fans out there in the world at all. So it's
no, right now we've lost 5 in a row. I'm not exactly thrilled.
No,
and plus I hate it because my favorite player was Quinn, and he got traded, and I was done.
Yeah,
I feel you there.
Yeah, well, it's really been all about community. I mean, I've known Greg over at Midlife for about a year and a half. I was on his channel last year in January, the first time I was on anybody's channel. I didn't have a channel. I just went on there because I presented an idea to him and he wanted to go with it. But he kept saying, you got to have a channel. I'm like, I don't want to have a channel. And now I wish I would have started sooner, because I've had so much fun, but also the people I've met. What are you going to show me? There we go.
That's a Quinn Hughes stature autograph.
Oh.
So that was one of my favorite cards, and it still is. But now that he's traded, it's it's not as treasured in my collection, but I have always liked the stature cards, and this was my Quinn Hughes autograph. So
I love the statue cards. They're great. I do watch Minnesota games because I want to watch them. So I watch Plus I like Kiprasov. I mean, I like hockey, so I watch a lot of hockey. Right. So
yeah, my thing with like the community, so to speak, was if you're going to tie your enjoyment to something and it's relying upon somebody else, the opportunity for disappointment is just there. So that's why I didn't go into it with that kind of goal. You know what I mean? But
well, you don't know what I've learned over watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I think I don't know about you guys, but I think I've noticed it more in the last 6 months. A lot more collaboration, a lot more people really wanting and talking about the friendships they've made and the joy of spending time with people. And John, you and I talked about this. As older men, I'm in that class. You guys aren't there yet, but as older men, a lot of older men don't stay in touch with each other. And where women, they have socials, they have book clubs and stuff like that. It's real important that men have good relationships and enjoy, their hobbies with friends and do things. And this is one way that's created that. I mean, I see a lot of people my age out there doing this and creating, and it's just been a joy to watch. And but that's what I've noticed the most is how many people are talking more about that than even their cards anymore, is the friendships, or going to Strongsville, or going to the National and meeting up and having a meal with somebody is almost the highlight of the whole weekend.
For sure.
I didn't expect all that, and I didn't expect this quickly to have met so many wonderful people. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've only been doing this. I put out 16 shows. I put out a lot of shows, but I did not expect what I've gotten in just the last month. I've been amazed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you put Kurt Flood in your title, Cardinal. I mean, what did you expect?
It's one of my favorites. I'm getting ready to, I've got his complete run done now. I just now got to start working on some of his oddball stuff. Nice. Speaking of oddball stuff, that's one of the things I wanted to ask you guys. Is there oddball stuff that you guys collect, or something that you always are looking for? Not even a set wise, but stuff that fascinates you. Like, I'm fascinated with magazines, old sport magazines, old sporting news. I collect a lot of them. I've got quite a few of them. I love reading them and looking at them. I like collecting oversized posters and stuff like that. Is there stuff that you guys like to collect that's just not the traditional card? Is there something else that you go after?
Oh, tons of it.
Oh, okay.
Well, first, right over my shoulder here, I've got the picture. I don't know if you can see it too well up there, but and John showed that fantastic one about with Willie McGee.
I told him that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't actively seek them out, but if I see them, I certainly am very interested in getting them. I would like to actually add more of those things, because those photographs, I mean, they're more than just a photograph. They tell a story about the moment. Like,
yes,
Willie McGee robbing that home run. That's more than just a picture of a guy making a catch. That's World Series. There's a lot more to it. So I like that aspect of those types of things. And like the magazines, like you talk about, they have so much more information in them, and it's really cool to tell the history and help tell the story with it.
Oh yeah. So here, let me I think that kind of says everything.
Yes. You like your statues, you like your bobbleheads.
Bobbleheads, yeah. I can grab one thing.
I've got my one. I've got my Veda Pinson bobblehead.
Yeah. So today, actually, I stopped by the LCS, and I was just going through stuff there, and a big Red Shandy's guy, Milwaukee Brave. And so this was given out the day that the Cardinals retired his number, which when the new ownership took over, they really prioritized like the history of the team.
Oh, right.
And so that's when they retired Red's number, Enos Slaughter's number, and things like that. But they retired Red's, and this one happens to be autographed. So I thought that was a pretty sweet
all the players of that era always had good signatures. I remember Johnny Bench talking about how when he was like 8 years old, he practiced his signature every day, because if he ever made it, he wanted his signature to be read. Harmon Killebrew, Andre Dawson, they're beautiful. These guys today do KK. or they'll
Right.
do a big circle. And
Well, I mean, my
they'll be
signature
"What the hell
sucks
is
too.
that?
So
That's not an autograph. Come on, write your name for God's sake. You're illiterate.
Right.
but one of
Yeah.
the things I collect too, I collect so many different things, but like I collect pens. It's not a gigantic collection, but whatever, right? And so I don't know what year this was, but the St. Louis Blues did a stadium giveaway targeted for kids, and this is meant to be a toothbrush holder, but I repurposed it as a pen holder.
Oh, there you go.
A bobblehead pen holder, you know what I mean?
Excellent.
That I keep on my desk.
Very nice.
I love it. I love
But
it.
speaking of hockey, so like this pen, it's a hockey pen.
So
It's a
how
hockey
cool
rink.
is that? Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff. I mean, that we could get into. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
One of my favorite items I have is that silly little belt buckle that I have of the 1982.
Oh yeah.
I think I don't know if I've got it up here. Yeah, this silly little thing. I got it when I was a kid, and I still have it now. It's got the 1982 Brewers American League Championship logo on there, and it's engraved by the guy that designed the. I don't know if you can see that.
How cool is that?
But yeah, Tom Mindell. He was from my hometown, Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and he designed that logo and got that belt buckle. I've had it for my entire life, pretty much. So cool little stuff like that. I mean, no one else probably thinks it's cool, but I think it's cool because I've kept it all these years. I can't believe I even still have it. So
yeah.
So I collect all of these baseball stars of the 50, 51, 52, 53. There's articles on, like 10 guys. I've got the run from 1950 to like 1980. So I have those that are always showing on there. But I was going to tell you about a project I'm working on because, I've talked many times on my channel. I'm a member of Society for Baseball Research, which is SABR. And we do a lot of studies and everything. And I'm in charge of a project that we're working on where we're going to have a database. In fact, right now it's up for a grant. And if I get the grant, then I can move on with it, is a complete rundown of every major, minor, and college ballpark from 1877 to now. So like you could research every park that the Braves have ever been in and research everything about it. The dimensions will have, I mean, it's endless questions that are on there. I've been building the database for about the last 6 months on the minor league stuff and Negro League minor league stuff, because the Negro League pro teams, when they didn't play, they played their seasons on the weekends. Well, during the week, they would go out and play games against semi-pro teams that were really good, black semi-pro teams that had their own leagues and stuff. And we're trying to get as many of those stadiums too. So down the line, that's going to be a project that's going to be available for anybody and everybody to look at. So that's one of the things I do when I'm not doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a labor of love. You're doing a lot of it. There's a lot of stadiums, and there's a lot of information we're trying to gather on it. Every team that played there, that every minor league team that played at that park or pro team, or was there a special event? Did the Beatles play there? Was there a Joe Louis fight? All that kind of stuff is important to the history of that stadium. So we're trying to capture all that, and it'll be in a database that'll be easily searchable by anybody who wants to search it. Like it'll be able to be brought up. Because right now it's just, how everything that you put in Excel or anything like that is not searchable. You just have to look at it one way, and that's not going to work with this thing. So that's about all I had, guys. I just wanted to throw a few things at you. I wanted just to get to know both of you better. Jon and I have gotten to know each other a little bit better, but I heard Jon talk about you, and then that I still did not get Bucks and Sixes till I had to see the name. But I love both your channels. I love what you guys do. I love your enthusiasm. It's a pleasure to get to know you, and we'll just definitely do this again.
Yeah, I appreciate the invitation. I enjoyed this as well. It was really fun.
Well, we'll do it again soon, and I wish you guys all the best, and we'll talk again.
All right.
Yeah, thanks again for having me on, Adam. It's good, getting to talk to you, Rob.
Yeah,
I definitely recommend you get him on here, solo kind of thing. Give him more time to tell his story. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I definitely will. Rob and I'll hook up. We'll maybe do a more in-depth hockey show.
Awesome.
And talk stuff. But I'd also like to see all those slab things that you do, your slab city and all your different things. I think that's pretty impressive. But
for sure.
Again, thank you both. It's a pleasure to have you both on, and thank you for wanting to do this. It's been great.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a lot of fun.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.